Hello, my friends. Once again, this is June Velasco at your service. This is my third tutorial. In today's tutorial, I will be showing you how to make textured flowers using palette knife. Before I start, I want to show you my canvas, which I pre-painted already with background colors. Right? So I've done this before, but don't worry about this yet, because today's tutorial will just concentrate on textured florals. The background, I'll give you another tutorial on that one later on. Maybe a full tutorial with the background and the flowers on top. See, because here it takes a long time for this to dry. So for us to make a video waiting for it to dry, it's gonna be a long video. As I have mentioned, I'll be using palette knife to draw my florals. Let me explain something. See, I have all sorts of palette knife that I have used through the years. I sometimes shape my palette knife using a grinder, okay, a wheel grinder, electric wheel grinder. So I shape it to the shape that I want, depends on the petals of the flowers. So it's all shaped to size. Yeah, I use a plastic palette knife. Is so easy to shape because they're easy to grind. But I also have steel palette knives. Sometimes I shape this as well. Okay, so let's start. And another explanation I have to do is my color palette. Today I will be painting mostly yellow roses, so predominantly yellow. Okay, now I'll explain something about my color palette. See, I have been doing this for a long time now. As you can see, I have a plastic, you can see that it's a plastic insert or plastic sheet cover, okay, for A3. I covered that with plastic sheet, which is just a core flute or any board, okay, and I place a white sheet on top of that and then place my plastic sheet, and that's where I place my paints. And this is just tape on top of it. I tape that, and that's my cover. Idea is because acrylic dries so quick, acrylic paint. Now, for me to preserve my paint when I'm finished and I still have lots of paints, what I'll do is I normally just spray water onto it before I close it. Okay, spray water, then close it. That's when I finish a session of painting. Right, so now let's start. Since this is textured acrylic, I'm using a modeling paste to mix with my paints. And you can see that I have that modeling paste. You can use any brand, you can buy it anywhere. Place some on my color palette. Modeling paste is thick in consistency, as you can see, because it's used for modeling in your painting. Okay, I'm gonna put some amount there, right? Then I'll be putting my yellow paint. Okay, squeeze a few in there. Yellow paint and some other paints that I want to use. This is red gold. I don't worry too much about the brand of the paint that I use, as long as they are good brands of paint. So maybe I'll place it somewhere here. It's called the red gold. Another shade of yellow. I don't know if they're the same, but never mind. And I'll find some orange color. Okay, orange. So I'll just put it somewhere here, maybe. It's still brand new, so put it somewhere there. Just and a bit of black for my darker tones. And red. Okay. All right. So that's my color palette. Just mix it in there. I can close it now if you want. All right, let's draw some shapes in this pre-painted canvas. Okay, so roses, I have my stem in there. So maybe one rose here. I would say one here. Let's just, I'm using chalk for my shapes. Say one here, maybe one in the middle, and then one here, small one here, another one here, another. Then some buds. Let's draw some buds. Okay, so it's maybe two stems of roses, so some buds and leaves later on. Okay, so that's where I'm gonna put my roses, where I drew those circles using a chalk. Right. Let's start painting. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so open up my paint palette. Open up. Okay. Now, a rose. Okay, so to draw a rose, I usually draw the insides first, like the core of the rose. And what I observe is that the core of the rose is normally darker than the rest, right? So I'll make something dark. I'll show you. Okay, again, taking some of my textured paint, place it somewhere here, and I'll mix something dark, a dark tone, maybe dark red, thinking of yellow in the end. Okay, so bear in mind your rose will be yellow predominantly, right? So I think that should be maybe some darker colors, right? Okay, let's start. So this is the core of the rose, so I'll just paint some dark colors in there. Touch of orange, maybe touch of yellow already. Just take note of the direction of my knife. Okay, so I'm just painting at random, like so. Painting shapes at random. Okay, so that's the first application. Now, the knife, always put it or dip it in the water, because acrylic paint, they dry so quick. So I have my bucket here, just dip it there, right? Then when you want to use it, just bring it out, give it a wipe, and it's ready for use. Now I'm gonna draw some petals. I want to use this knife here. Okay, on the outer edge, I'm gonna put some lighter colors. So now, start always with texture modeling paste, sorry, and a bit of white. I'll make this lighter in color. I think I'll show you how I'm mixing my colors. Okay, there. Right. So here, that's textured, very thick, you can see, and just apply it quickly. Like so. So there you can see the texture. Maybe another one here to complete the petal. Right? So that's my first one. I'll just keep on going, just watch. So I want to show you what I'm doing with my color palette. Texture, different shade. Second application. So this painting is like semi-abstract and semi-impressionism and semi-realistic. Okay, so what I'm doing is giving or doing some shapes of the petals, impressionism style, but you don't want them to lose. Each petal should be different colors, like a touch different from each other, so you know there are different petals. Okay, so that's the third one. I'm gonna mix another one, darker one maybe. Very thick. One in here. Okay, I'll just keep on doing. Sometimes I need to put a division line here if it's almost the same color. So I'm gonna place another color there, a darker color, which signifies shadow. Okay, now I place another yellow here, maybe somewhere here. Okay, and again my shadow color inside here. And a lighter yellow. Just down here. Make sure it should shape like a rose. So maybe this is a larger petal, which is about to fall off from the rose. So a larger one. Okay, and you can see there Right. Now study my rose, and I think I need to put little lighter colors on the outside just to balance it. There, maybe here. And maybe a darker one here. Just something like that. Okay. Another light one here maybe. Alright, so that's one shape finished. Now let's go on with the other roses and complete this painting.